Hey there, peeps. Fergalicious TV here, and happy Saturday to you. It is December. We are here in December. It's been a really long time since I went live, so I feel like I'm a little bit out of practice, but I'm here. I'm here. Sugarfoot is here. He just said hello. Anyway, it's December, y'all. So you know what December means? It is time for our annual declutter challenge. And not that we don't have other declutter challenges throughout the year, we do. But I absolutely love doing a declutter challenge in December, specifically because in December, it's holiday time and that sort of thing. And it's just a huge time for a bunch of consumerism. So because we take in a lot of things, or we get a lot of things, we buy a lot of things. Hello, R. Johnson. Welcome. But because we do a lot of consuming, I feel like we need to get rid of some things as well. And also, I like getting rid of stuff because I like to usher in the new year on a fresh note. So every year, or every time I have a declutter challenge, I always have a specific thrust that I like. Hey, Pin India loves, welcome. We're talking about our December declutter challenge. Obviously, we want to get rid of the things that we no longer need, we no longer love, we can no longer use. Those are the easy things to get rid of, unless you have an attachment to it, and then we have to address that and why. But hey friend, nice to see you. One of my main thrusts this time for the declutter challenge is, so one of my favorite declutters. I feel like she's my declutter. She's the guru for sure, but definitely a declutter mentor, Tracy McCubbin. She talks about the fact that if we're not using something, then it's clutter. And I personally have that issue where I have a bunch of items that are, that we say for a rainy day or for a special occasion, where the way the world is right now, any day we wake up on this side of the dirt is a special occasion. Hey, budget nerd, nice to see you. We're talking about decluttering. So we don't have to wait until a special occasion to use the things that are just sitting in a drawer or sitting in a cabinet or sitting in the basement or in the shed or whatever. We need to use them now. So for me, I feel like that's how I am going to declutter most during this particular challenge. Is I'm going to use those things that I haven't used. I'm not even going to talk about, I do have a few things still in boxes that I bought several months ago. And I mean several. We're talking about the earlier part of 2024, and they are still in a box. Hey, Amplify My Wealth, welcome. We're talking about decluttering and the December challenge. I always like to do a December challenge because it's the biggest time of consumerism of the year. It's when people are buying gifts and they're festive and holiday mode. So they're just buying and buying and buying. And sometimes we don't even use the things that we're buying, i.e. me. So I'm telling on myself. And so that's what I'm going to be addressing this year. Like for instance, one thing I had in my linen closet is this, and it's for like headaches and relaxation and stuff like that. And it's just sitting in the drawer when I could be using it. You can heat this up. You can freeze it. So whether you want heat or cold on your head, I can use this anytime I need to. But then there are some things I just need to straight up get rid of. Like I have a really big issue. It's not an issue. It's just I like to be purposeful about getting rid of stuff. So that's where I get stuck in a lot of ways, where it's like I'm holding on to things. Why? Because I have not gotten rid of it. Because I'm like, oh, because it could go to someone specific that can use it. I try my best not to just throw things in a box and just send them to Goodwill. Yes, shop your home. I totally agree. I totally agree. Or donate it or sell it. Yes. Or in this case for me, using it. As long as you're not using it, it's considered clutter. if you are using it and you're loving it and you're sharing it with people, whatever, that's, you have now decluttered that item that has been sitting dormant forever. But one of the things I do need to do is get rid of things that I just can't find a home for. Like, for instance, when you use up all of your perfume and it's empty, it's a glass bottle, it's a nice bottle, how do you declutter these? Now, previously, I would just throw them in my recycling, but I'm not even sure if they actually can be recycled, so that's probably irresponsible of me as well. But I do have a place here called Scrap for Art where they take household items and different types of items and turn them into art projects. However, perfume bottles is not one that they currently take. So I'm like, how can I go about, getting rid of stuff like this? But the truth is, I just need to get rid of it. Then I have things like this. Like, I bought a new shower head. I'm not even gonna tell you, like I said, several months ago. Why is it still not installed yet? Things like this. This is what I'm going to be tackling. This is part of my decluttering list for the December challenge. So again, I like to do things with ease. I don't like to feel like people have to be pressured to do things. So you do things at your own pace. Again, I think some things are just really easy to recycle. Household items we can throw in the recycling, that's really easy. Something that, I've been meaning to give this to someone else, that's easy. Giving things back. If you borrowed items, declutter your home by giving back the items that you borrowed. They're not yours. They don't belong to you. You use them for whatever you need to use them for, and now their time is up, so they need to go back out. So let's look at the. I forgot about the organization Scrap for Art. Yes. Scrap for Art is open every Saturday and every other Tuesday. So I love going out there, but I have to have a purpose to go out there. So I look very closely at their wish list because they updated. I'm not sure how often, but they update it pretty often on their website. So they tell you the things that they absolutely need, and they tell you the things that they absolutely do not need. So just make sure you take a look at the list before you go all the way up there. And also, don't be tempted to go in there and buy things too. But I will say it is a wonderful resource if you are working on an art project. Like, for instance, when my mom turned 80 last year, I went there and even talked with a lady. She helped me work out some ideas, and I made her centerpieces made out of items that I got from Scrap for Art. Super duper nice. And then once the party was over, I actually gave all of the centerpieces to our decorator that was there. So as she was taking down her linens and things like that, I asked her if this was something she could use because she's an event planner, and she absolutely loved them and took them all away. So no matter where I go, no matter what I'm doing, I'm always having decluttering in the back of my mind. So that's a couple of things. So what else? There's another thing too, like, oh, it's falling. Okay, so I got some material from. Oh Lord, I don't want to move the other one because it's holding up my phone apparently. From travels, and I still haven't done anything with them. The easy task is to do something with them, have someone make something out of them. But I'm not even sure if I want to do that at this point. I'm like, what should I do with something like that? That may have to sit on the back burner unless y'all got some ideas. Let me know. Hey, Carrie Coach. Hey, how you doing? Welcome. We're talking about decluttering, and I hope you'll join me in this declutter challenge. So December, I always do one in December. My particular thrust is to use items that I haven't used. And that's how I'm going to be decluttering most this time. But I am also, another thing I'm working on is, I have things, I cannot stand trinkets. So I try to stay away from places and things that give out trinkets. As soon as somebody gives me something, I usually give it right back to someone else. Like, even things like the little cutesy hand sanitizer, it's cute and all, but I already have plenty, and I don't need another one. Or when we go to events and they give you a gift bag, and that gift bag has pens or pencils or nail files or just little things. To me, they create so much clutter in my life. They're at the bottom of your purse. They're on this nightstand. They're over here. They're over there. And I just cannot stand it. That's why I also don't volunteer for a lot of gift exchanges, because unless I'm going to get something very specific that I want, I don't want to have to deal with the trinkets. So one of the things I'm doing with the trinkets or trinket-like things, I am just going to hopefully someone else can use it. So I have done this before where I put them on Facebook. Everything is free and people come up and meet up with me. That's my task today, is to actually take those pictures and post them so I can get rid of them definitely by Christmas, but my hope is before the end of the weekend is over. That's my hope. But then I'll have an additional set that I have. But also, I just did post today some things that I'm selling. So, and eventually, if they don't sell, I probably shouldn't say this out loud, but I'm probably just going to give it away because I just want to get rid of it. Okay, so I totally agree with you. Thank you. Okay, had lots of disposable utensils. Yes, I'm so glad you brought that up. I thought I had one here. I did. These right here. So, okay, let me finish reading. Kept a little and dropped the rest off at the food pantry. I'm like, I say no to trinkets too, but love a good nail file. I understand. Hey. I actually did a video, haven't posted it yet, about at least 5 ways you can get rid of this. And because it's holiday time, it's easy to get rid of these now. I did a video about these previously. You know, sometimes you go to, carry out or get, delivery, whatever, and they either don't put the utensils in or they give you way too many. So I had a drawer full of these. And so previously what I would do is I would just take them to work and put them in the work kitchen. But since it is holiday time, it is a great time to be able to give these away during the festive parties. So let this be, I just thought of a 6th one. Let this be your contribution to the holiday party at work or at school or at church or whatever. You can always bring these. And even if they have their own decor, where they have their own sets of utensils that match the theme or whatever, if they have to-go plates, these are the perfect time to set these right by the to-go plates so people can take these along with them. Okay. So yeah, I have a video coming out about that. I did film it already. I just did not post it because I have been procrastinating on even doing this live. But I appreciate y'all coming through. Do y'all have any other ideas? I see that people said that they are in. So please do, if you post any of your decluttering efforts, please do tag me and or use the hashtag FDDeclutter. I appreciate that. I love seeing when other people are able to do it as well. And let us be mindful of that we can get rid of these items and rehome them for someone else who can absolutely use them. It doesn't always have to be, I don't personally have anything against giving things to the Goodwill, but I know there are plenty of people who do. So I have previously done a video that gives you 12 places that where you can donate that are not the Goodwill. And again, people just want to be mindful around Christmas time. Sometimes it's not even about Goodwill, but Goodwill in our hearts. So you can donate things to a needy family or needy children or needy organizations. It's always a good time. And if you have, just put this out as a plug, if you are donating, which thanks again, Alyssa, for telling us about you donating these to a food pantry. I would also suggest you give these to maybe some shelters, in addition to anything else the shelters need. And during this time, obviously, because it's winter time, well, especially up here, I'm in the Midwest, so in the wintertime, it's cold, so shelters are always in need of things like socks and underwear and coats, hats, gloves, and feminine hygiene products, very specifically. So if you have any of those additional, or if you have any additional money, or if you have any additional trinkets, because those trinkets can also be used for donations. You know, those hand sanitizers, shampoo, um, conditioner, combs, nail files, all of those things can be, and they even down to holiday cards. I did a video once about, and I was making a joke about the fact that my mom donated something. She made a donation to this organization one time, and they never stopped sending her trinkets. Every year, a couple times a year, they sent her a bunch of stuff in the mail. I'm like, what are we gonna do with this stuff? So I started giving her this stuff away. I gave her pins and socks and things like that, whatever. And I was able to actually donate it to a shelter who could actually use those things, including holiday cards, stickers, stationery, stuff like that. They can go to transitional housing. So we talk about shelters, let's talk about transitional housing. And if you can and you have items, please, please, please donate to those children or youth transitional houses, specifically for LGBTQ LGBTQIA plus houses, because those are definitely in need, and it's always an ongoing thing. It doesn't even have to be Christmas time. So please do make sure that we can be mindful about us giving. It doesn't even have to necessarily cost us any money, but if we have things that we don't use, we don't love, are in very, very good condition, we can pass those along to other people who can definitely use those. So I appreciate you listening to my PSA. Thanks for being here today. I'll look at the comments again. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Oh, and also let me add, any type of children's services programs, or anything youth centered, please do donate those things. Also, if you have luggage is another thing that people can use. Oftentimes, children show up in systems with plastic bags, and they need luggage and things to be able to hold their belongings. So that would also be another idea for people. I worked at a homeless shelter before. Everything you're saying is correct. Thank you. I appreciate that. I've also worked in, I used to work for a homeless intervention social service agency. And so we got a chance, and we had three tiers. We had a shelter tier, we had a transitional housing tier, and then we had a permanent housing tier as well. So this is something that's very deeply rooted in me, very, close to my heart. I really, whenever we can see people in need, whenever we see people in need, which is always the case, I just like to be mindful about what it is that people need. So if we can declutter and declutter for a purpose, that will be the most helpful, and just the way we make this world continue to go round and round in a very positive and joyful way. So check your pantry for items you won't use and donate them. Absolutely. And you don't have to wait until May when the Postal Service does their stamp out hunger thing. You don't have to wait until November. You can do it any time of the year. Your food pantries always need your help. Shelters need your help. And like I said, those other shelters, again, if you can give a specific donation to those youth shelters, that would be greatly appreciated and very helpful. Thank you for this live. You're welcome. Love this, Letitia. Thank you. I appreciate that. So without further ado, I think that's all we have today. But if you have any other ideas, please feel free. You can put them in chat. Now, unfortunately, the comments go away after the live goes off. But you can feel free to DM me if you have any ideas. I know most of y'all anyway, so y'all can chat anytime about what we're doing. But I love to declutter. I love to be able to be helpful, and if I can do both, that is always the best way I try to roll. So y'all have a good weekend. Thank you. Have a blessed weekend, y'all. Stay blessed. Carrie, India, Alyssa, all of y'all, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it, and y'all have a good day. Stay for delicious and happy decluttering.